what do you want to look like? What do you want to perform like?
And what do you enjoy doing?
And what do you enjoy doing? If you like to be a powerlifter, be a powerlifter. If you want to look like a powerlifter, just say, what do you want to look like? If you want to look like an aesthetic bodybuilder, then you need to train like one.
Hey, I'm Jessica Goins. I'm a nurse practitioner and owner of Optum Life Health. And I'm here with my husband, Bradley Goins, co-owner of our gym, Goins Strong Fitness. And we have a special guest, Jerry. He's one of my patients and he's a gym member. So we were going to talk with him today about, how he was feeling, what was going on, and what brought him to us. And we'll just kind of let you tell a little bit about yourself, if you don't mind.
Okay, well, I'm a man of the trees, so I've worked all my life, sunrise, sunset. Never took care of myself like I should have because I was always taking care of everybody else. And eventually just got to a point, it was like hitting a brick wall, and I was like, man, something's got to change. I can't keep going the way I'm going. I was sick and tired of feeling sick and tired, was sluggish. And I've got an older friend in his 50s seeing a similar practice in another town. And he swore by it. He said, I know you go to your doctor and get a physical and they check your labs and they'll say it's normal, but he says it's not normal. He says it's normal for a system, but it's not normal. So he was trying to get me to go see his practice. And he was talking about how he felt like he was in his 30s and everything was doing great for him. And I could see he was losing weight and how energetic he was. And so I knew I had to do something. I was just being lazy about it. And then I came across your video, your advertisement on Facebook, and I was like, hey, I know those people. You should go to their gym. So I just come back and just see what you could do for me to help me out. And I'm glad I did.
Mm-hmm. So I remember when you first came, you had talked about, you wanted to lose a little bit of weight. You had already started berberine, a supplement. You said that you had read our nutrition book from a long time ago when you first joined the gym. So you had already been doing that, taking fish oil here and there. And I thought, well, that's good. So we checked a full panel and then we saw that you had a C-reactive protein of 8.7. We were like, oh, we don't like that. But the good news was you didn't have any concern for insulin resistance. So we were super excited about that. But we're like, okay, well, we've got some inflammation going on. We had a little bit low normal, like sex hormones. Your vitamin B12 was a little bit on the low end, but still normal. You had a normal vitamin D, but it wasn't optimal. So I was like, okay, you're already taking berberine. You're trying to eat healthier. So we were prioritizing your protein intake. And I found out you were drinking sweet tea. So I was like, okay, if we could cut that out. And you were like, no. And I was like, oh, okay. So you have cut it down and you will go half and half with like unsweet tea and sweet tea. So I was like, okay, I, love that we could meet in the middle. And so you were like, okay, well, I'm willing to, treat these deficiencies, with a few targeted supplements. And then we were working on, basically your hormones and everything. And so then you came back in, and how were you feeling on when you came back in for that recheck after you'd been doing some things?
Oh, it was like complete 180. I mean, within 2 weeks of taking the supplements that you recommended, I could tell my energy levels were going up. Even my gut, I know it's kind of weird, but even I felt better in my gut. Almost like a different person. Just within 2 weeks, I was feeling better.
Oh, that's good.
And then I think we had a 2-month follow-up.
Yeah, you had your original labs checked in the beginning of April, and then we checked them again literally 2 months later. And just in that short time, your C-reactive protein came down from 8.7 to 2.4, which is really great. And so, and it's going to keep coming down, right? Because now you've been taking everything consistently. And then even your, just the natural things that we were doing, your testosterone even improved, which I feel like probably helped your energy a lot. Your vitamin B12 came up, your vitamin D came up, like everything that we were treating had improved. And so, but I think the biggest thing is that you felt better.
Oh, most definitely felt better. Plus, I lost 10 pounds in that 2 months
Oh, yeah, okay. So,
and gained just a little bit of muscle.
I think he stopped drinking a little bit of sweet tea, just a little bit. So,
Yeah, that's going to be tough to give up the sweet tea, but
Well, I
I'll
mean-
work on it. But the biggest thing is also accountability too.
yeah.
Like I said, I got lazy, just didn't care. But coming here, y'all kept me accountable and continue to keep me accountable.
You weren't at the gym when you first came back. You
Wasn't
weren't
at
at
the
the
gym.
gym yet.
I
'Cause-
was working out at a house some, but there's only so much you can do at home versus the gym.
yeah. And then you rejoined when? About a month ago or more?
I think so.
Yep. And so I've been seeing you in there doing good. Did your schedule change or you just felt better that you had the energy to go?
I felt better. I had the energy to go.
But you have the same work schedule.
For the most part now, my job in the summer, we're going 410, so it's harder for me to get
Okay.
in Monday through Thursday. So I try to cram
Okay.
Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But
That's fine.
again, I work a lot, even though I've kind of downsized how much side work I do. Well, I call it side work. It's basically a side business, an extra business now. But I've downsized it, been focusing on me versus everyone else. I know that's selfish, but
You can't take care of them if you can't
Right.
take care of yourself.
Right. If you ain't right, nobody else is going to be.
right. So I had to take care of myself, and like I said, I lost the weight, feel tons better, got the energy. Even my arthritis, used to ache in my joints all the time. I mean, it's virtually almost gone now.
Yeah, and you're taking the fish oil, the berberine, the multivitamin. I think you might be taking Standalone D. I think you're taking NAC.
Yeah, you started me on.
Yeah. So you're taking a lot of things that can help with the inflammation. So it makes sense. But your diet, though, that probably has helped more than anything with those targeted supplements.
Right.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing to help me on my diet was everything that I shouldn't been eating. I told myself it was poison. That's what kind of helped me.
I wish it would work for everybody like that
Well,
because some of it is poison.
I think it is. I think that's how I do it. When I was a teenager, I just kind of said, well,
It's not helping me.
drinkable sugar
Yeah.
is like literal poison to me, so I never drink it. Ding dongs, ho hos, Swiss rolls. We talked about that. Swiss rolls, Little Debbie snacks that I used to consume like crazy too. I just told myself it ain't doing nothing for me. It's poison. It's just pure body fat going on my body when I eat it. So that's what helps me not eat that stuff. So that's right in line with what helped me early on.
Now,
9 years ago.
I think you told me that now that you're back in the gym, you're feeling better, this and that. We had gave you like a workout plan to start doing, but I think you had more specific questions that you wanted to ask us or maybe just touch on. Can you think of anything right off the top of your head that you want to talk about? It can be anything.
Well, yeah. Now that I've got my energy levels back up and I'm feeling better, and like I said, I have lost weight. I still like to flatten the stomach some more, but I think my question was, how much protein should I be consuming, especially if I'm ready to bodybuild? I mean, I'm not worried about looking like a beast like you. I don't have that kind of time or commitment level, but I want to be stronger and healthier.
Right.
So how much, because I'm trying to not gain the weight that I've lost, but I still know you have to consume large amounts of protein.
Right. So it's going to be a nuanced answer. And I'm going to try to answer it for where the majority of people, depending on where you're at, can kind of gauge how much protein you should have. My first rule of thumb is like for most people, if you want to give me, I could just throw out a number. Most women, let's say you're a woman that's like what, 5'2", 5'6", average sized woman, minimum 100 grams of protein per day. And then I kind of throw out average size man if I'm giving out, government standards. Because they just base it off some average, right? 150 grams, let's say, for men would be a good baseline that almost pretty much everybody should eat. And that's like double, triple what the recommendation is, has been for the last, 50 years from the recommended daily allowance, U.S. government standard. The scientific standard would be like 1 gram per pound of lean body mass is kind of like, so, you know, me, I'm like 6%, 7% body fat right now. Just got done with the bodybuilding show. So
That you won.
that I want,
Congratulations.
and we'll be doing more. But that would put me at, I'm 205 pounds right now, lean, 200 lean. I weighed in at 198. So let's say 200. 200 is like, I need to have 200. Like that's where I'm at. Okay. Now, if I was at 30% body fat and 200 pounds, I'm probably down. Like I actually would need minimum maybe 150, 140, 150. You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to feed the muscle. I don't need to, So that's kind of the standard. But the standard of 1 gram per, more protein's always better. So I just say that's the minimum. Like that's what you should be trying to get every day. And if you hit that, that's good enough, but it's not optimal. So if you're trying to gain muscle, what your question was, if I want to gain muscle, if I want to put on muscle, and when I hear that question, I also say in an optimal way, right? I want to make continuous progress where I'm gaining muscle as well as I can.
Right. Like he doesn't need to go on a bulk where
Yeah,
he
you know, but-
gains more body fat that he has to worry about
We're
trying
not,
to get up.
yeah, we're not wanting to do a bulk, but protein's not going to make you fat. That protein's not going to make you fat. Eat a lot of it. You should eat a ton of protein.
Especially like you said, minimum. If a person finds that they're craving food and they're like hungry and they're trying to get into other things, definitely by all means increase that number way above, because you're not going to get fat off of lean protein,
Yeah.
but you will off of the snacky stuff where you can't get your hand out of it.
If you fill up, if you eat, just get a food scale, digital food scale, $20 on Amazon.
You have one?
I do not.
Okay, so we need a food scale.
I'm telling people at home too that are watching.
Okay, so get a food scale.
I always weigh my protein to make sure that I've got enough.
Weigh it after it's cooked.
I weigh it after it's cooked. That makes sure that I've got. Now, that doesn't mean eat 8 ounces of beef jerky because that's so dry. But a reasonably cooked grilled chicken breast, right, that's not turned into powder. Because if you cook all the water out of it, then all the weight goes out of it. But a reasonably cooked, portion of meat. I'll put my rice in a bowl. I usually eat like a cup of rice. That's about 50 carbs. That's a good meal, good starting point for me. And then I'll put that in a bowl, put that on the food scale, and I'll zero it out. And then I'll put like my 8 ounces of meat on top of it. I know I've got 8 ounces in there on my food scale, and that's a good portion. You eat 8 ounces of meat, you shouldn't be hungry. Most people are not going to be hungry 3 hours later.
So now that he's working out, he can support more of an energy source, which are the carbs. But if he's going to eat, let's say 3 whole meals a day, let's say that you did eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, let's say, would you recommend a cup of rice for him, or would you say to start like a half? Just that saying, because you're going to have people, A, we have him here and he wants to know, but B, we're going to have people out there going, oh, well, I can eat a cup of rice, and they might not be able to support that with their activity level.
Yeah, time it closer to your training, and then on higher activity days, you're probably going to be 100 to 150 grams of protein. So you could probably have at breakfast or at lunch. So let's say you have carbs at breakfast and then carbs at lunch, maybe in your snack in there too. Cut carbs out at the end of the day. Just have meat and veggies at night, where you're less active.
Yeah, unless you're on the go in the morning and you didn't have much of anything but like a shake, let's say worst case scenario, and then you did have a carb at lunch and did have it. So it's like about balance. Are you eating carbs now? Like what are...
Not like I used to.
Okay. Well, you're not eating the...
Well, I try to stick mainly to protein.
Okay.
And when I say carbs, I ain't talking about people counting macros. I'm talking about eating whole food.
Like potatoes.
Like a cup of rice, a cup of potato, like just potato, is only like 100 calories.
Yes.
25
carbs. But rice, a cup is
Right.
200 calories.
A cup of cooked rice is about 200 calories. Right.
So you can get more potato kind of.
White rice, not fried rice from your Japanese restaurant that's got oil on it. Right. People forget about that. We talk about that. But so from the protein aspect, in your case, for you, you said 180 something pounds, I think, off camera. So I would target 180 just for you.
So if you hit 200, it'd be...
But like that would be my minimum for you. Your goal is to gain muscle, and you're going to the gym, and you're actually training hard enough to stimulate muscle growth. I would go higher than 180, but like I'm going to say 180 is the minimum. I would say probably closer to 220 to 250.
Yeah.
I'm 200 pounds and I eat about 350 grams of protein a day. I'm also training in an extreme way. So that's the extreme example. A bodybuilder might be 1.5 grams per pound of body weight to 2 grams. And that sounds extreme to people, but that's what the biggest guys are eating. And it works. It is more expensive, and it's, you feel like a glutton just cramming protein into your body, but it's to feed the muscle growth to a more extreme level or faster level. But for most people, like I said, 180, that's the good standard, 200-ish in that ballpark. You don't have to split hairs about missing a few grams. But that's going to be, let's say you have 4 eggs at breakfast. Eggs are healthy.
Do you have time to eat breakfast?
No, not really.
Have you been drinking a shake or anything?
I normally do a protein shake or a protein bar.
Well, I think he goes in. What time do you go in? I think you go in early.
Yes. Yeah, I'm usually at work by 6 a.m.
That's what I'm saying. So he's not necessarily wanting to eat 4 eggs and 5.
You got to wake up 15 minutes earlier.
You could if you wanted to. I'm just saying.
You have time. You just got to wake up 15 minutes earlier.
Yeah, pool 30 already goes already.
It's okay. All right. Well, as long as you get the shake, you got to get something in the morning. And then you can have snacks and make up for it, whatever. Pack some boiled eggs.
You eat out lunch, but you've been making healthier choices. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So he's trying to focus on meat when he goes out.
What's a typical place you go to when you eat out?
Typical?
Yeah. Give you like 2 or 3 standard places you stop for lunch at.
Usually Mexican or Japanese, where I usually stick with.
Do you get white rice at the Japanese place?
I get white rice now.
Yeah.
And I use less shrimp sauce now and half and half tea.
Yeah.
Oh, the shrimp, yeah.
Yeah, like I said,
See, look, that's good.
off camera, you want to take your chicken and dip it. Don't pour the shrimp sauce on your food. If you're going to eat some of it, a little dab. Take your bite, put a little dab on your chicken, eat your chicken, get white rice. All that stuff is still cooked in oil, though. When you watch them, you don't really know how much is on there because,
That's not either.
some cooks use a little bit. Some cooks, it's a lot of oil on there. So you really don't know what you're getting on that as far as how much fat is on there. But the white rice is a step in the right direction. Getting rid of the sugary or less sugar drink by going half and half on your sweet tea is a better directional move. So you're going in the right direction. Depending on the Japanese restaurant, it might be a big serving of chicken, and that could be 6 ounces, which is fair. I would say that's what you want to try to get because that's about 40 grams of protein.
Do you have a snack or a protein shake or anything before dinner or no?
I would say that varies.
Okay.
It's not always. I guess it depends on how hungry I feel. But at least it's a protein bar or something and not Little Debbie.
And then when are you working out? You're mostly working out. You're not really working out after work. You say you're maybe working on your off days? Working out on your off days, I mean?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So I think you were trying to tell him to...
Strategically how to get the protein in.
And then but to prioritize maybe the carb meals around his training to help him.
Yeah, midday. What time are you training?
Usually in the evenings.
Yeah, so you can have that carb meal at lunch. That's a good time to have the rice. And then when you get home for dinner, maybe you don't need the rice. Because that serving of rice at lunch from the Japanese restaurant might be, sometimes they'll give you 2 cups of rice in there. Yeah. Well, you probably don't need much more rice later. Most people won't.
Oh.
Okay. Well, yeah, if you don't eat all of it.
Yeah, used to. I eat flavor.
But you get all the protein.
Yes. I ate all the protein and probably half the rice, if that now.
That's perfect.
Okay. And that, again, so that's another good step in the right direction when your goal is fat loss. And you can gain muscle and lose fat at the same time. So you got to get your protein high, keep your carbs and fat calories in check so that the protein feeds the muscle and muscle repair and growth. And then you have to still have a slight calorie deficit. So you're building muscle by training it and feeding it protein on a consistent basis and keeping your fat and carb calories on the lower end. And you'll see that scale should be slowly going down. But what you'll find is you're actually transforming, you're gaining muscle and losing fat at the same time. And the scale actually will move slower, which is why people get frustrated when you went, oh, I hadn't lost that much weight. It's like, no, you gain like 2 or 3 pounds of muscle.
Yeah, because it's the body.
In a 2-month period, your body composition, the goal is body composition change, not the fat loss, not just weight loss. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Next question.
okay.
I'm going to try to get through some of them for you because it'll talk about one question for.
So get your protein in there. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, whole food protein, and you can do 2 or 3 shakes.
Yeah, I think one question we was discussing earlier was, say when we do go out to eat, how do we judge how much protein is there? Because obviously if you do a protein shake, it's going to tell you how much protein is there. But if I'm counting protein now,
Yeah.
Is there a rule of thumb on how much protein is on my plate?
You're probably not going to have as much as you think or want at that meal going out. So I wouldn't necessarily say it's a certain amount. Just know that you're probably going to have more at home or drink a shake to help boost it, to be honest. What do you want to say about it?
So I'll give you, okay, well, if you go to a Mexican restaurant or something like that, and it depends on the portion size. Is it a place that gives you a lot of meat?
Some do, yeah.
Some might give,
Some don't.
so like if you go to Chipotle, their standard serving size, because a lot of people eat at Chipotle, that's just an example I'm throwing out there. Their standard serving size is about 4 ounces of chicken.
So you'd have to get double protein.
If you want 8 ounces of chicken, you're going to have to order double meat, right? If 4 ounces is enough, 4 ounces, the rule of thumb is for every ounce of cooked meat, chicken, beef, fish, the rule of thumb to follow is 7 grams of protein per ounce.
Yep.
So if I have 1 ounce, that's 7 grams of protein. So if I go to Chipotle and I get those standard serving and it's actual 4 ounces, that's going to be about 28, 30 grams of protein.
Yep.
If I go to a Mexican restaurant and they have big portions and it's like 6 to 8 ounces, now I'm getting 40 to 55 grams of protein. You're in that ballpark. That's kind of how you can ballpark it. It's kind of hard to know exactly, like, unless you're really good at eyeballing, is that 6 ounces on my plate or is that 8 ounces on my plate?
And you'll get used to it.
You get close.
I don't think you should, like, when you go out to eat, you don't have to, I guess what I was trying to say, you don't have to focus on the number. Just assume it's probably not enough unless it was a big portion or you ordered double protein, if that makes sense. But when you're at home and you're weighing it, you can certainly do the math.
Yeah. Or if you go out to Outback or something like that and you get the salmon, that's about 8 ounces. Or a steak, that's about 7 to 8 ounces for a fillet or something like that.
Yeah, and
It's close. It'll say, it's usually when they cook it, it cooks down. They advertise it as an 8-ounce steak and it cooks down to a 6.5 ounce steak. So I don't split hairs about that. Just eat that and then, get your baked potato on the side. Don't put a bunch of sour cream and butter in it. That kind of stuff. If you're going out with friends for that kind of dinner, it's not rocket science. It's just trying to make it a little bit healthier.
Right.
You got another question?
Now, as far as working out to gain muscle, is there a science or a proper way to do this? Because I've read online different methods, the 2 method or whatever, reps versus weight. What would you recommend on the workout regimes?
Yeah, so the science is that a lot of rep ranges work. It really kind of depends on the individual, but whatever the program is, the question is that program implementing progressive overload? So over time, am I getting more intensity and am I doing more weight and more reps? So you could do the same workout as long as you get a well-rounded workout routine where you're hitting everything, hitting your legs, hamstrings. You want to have something well-rounded and planned out. You don't want to just have random exercises where I'm just running around doing all these upper body exercises and never working my legs, right? You gotta hit everything. And then, okay, it's like, well, how many sets and reps? And you develop that. You could do that. You develop the perfect workout, which I have my workout. I kind of do the same workout. I switch machines out, but at the end of the day, you could do the same workout forever and ever and ever. As long as I'm adding weight and reps to that workout, it's actually easier to track that way because I'm like, okay, I did 10 reps at this weight on this machine a month ago. Now I'm doing 12 reps. I'm getting stronger. Okay. So really that's the science, is have a routine that has the number of days that you're going to train, that every week you're hitting every muscle group with enough volume that might be somewhere. It's usually around, I would say at least in your workout, you should try to get like 6 sets for each muscle group as a base minimum.
Oh, minimum, yeah. I was like,
As a base minimum for most people. I do more,
yeah.
but again, I'm trying to be.
Depends on your goals and all that.
I'm trying to be a bodybuilder, and it's a little bit more volume, but it's also the quality of the set too. Like you and me could do the same exact workout, but I know how to train, and I'm going to get a lot more out of my sets than you are. Some people won't push themselves very hard, so it's really, you do have to push yourself where it's a little bit, not pain, discomfort.
You have to think about what you're doing while you're doing it, right? You're not just going through the motion and using a lot of momentum to help you. Like even a bicep curl, you're thinking about it, right? Everything's nice and controlled.
It's about feeling the muscle. There's a little bit of an art to it from a bodybuilding standpoint that, I could argue with CrossFit people and stuff like this all the time, or power lifters or whatever. But if you want to build the muscle and get that aesthetic look like a bodybuilder, they're the best muscle builders. I don't care what anybody says. Bodybuilders are the best muscle builders. Power lifters build muscle. Yeah, they generate a lot of force, strength. But generating force does generate muscle growth.
Strong.
Yeah, but so what's best? Well, it's okay. What do you want to look like? What do you want to perform like?
And what do you enjoy doing? So.
And what do you enjoy doing? If you like to be a power lifter, be a power lifter. If you want to look like a power lifter, just say, what do you want to look like? If you want to look like an aesthetic bodybuilder, then you need to train like one. There's a little bit more volume. There's a little bit more nuance. They train different. I train different rep ranges. Sometimes I train heavy. Sometimes I train lighter. Over time, though, I'm trying to push more weight on all the extra. I know what I've done in the past because I just keep a log in my mind. I know that this machine, I have my go-to machines. I don't keep track of every machine, but my point is, over time, you just have to be getting better and training with intensity. You should feel like you've done something. And then you got to go home and you got to eat the protein every day, and you got to do it every meal and snack. It's the food. The food's going to make you grow. Mm-hmm. The training just stimulates the muscle to adapt and get stronger. But if you don't eat enough, you're going to have plateaus. So people have plateaus. Their plateaus are typically because they're not eating consistently, or they're not recovering from their workouts, or they're not training hard enough. You see a lot of that too. So some people have a routine and they're just in here doing, just moving some weight. Well, this ain't, I'm not doing anything. Am I training the muscle that I'm training? You have to actually target the muscle. It should burn. It should be uncomfortable. And that's training. And then you got to put all that together. And you got to do that consistently every day.
Well, not every day.
Every day.
He's not going to train every day.
Not train every day.
Oh, okay. It's like, dang.
The recovery is every day. The food is every day.
The food is every day.
You could train 3 days a week and gain muscle, or 1 day a week. If you train the muscle hard enough, but you still have to recover from your training. You have to eat the right amount of food to get the result you're looking for. There's just, it's kind of like, but my advice to anybody out there is like, okay, find the person you want to look like. If you want to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, well, what did he do? No, you don't need to go train 3 hours a day. He did. That's not necessary. They didn't know they didn't know all the science back then. It will work. You just don't have to do that.
You don't have to kill yourself.
I spend about 45 minutes on my training sessions.
To an hour.
Depending on how many people interrupt me at the gym and I talk too long. I try not to do that. But you should be able to get done under an hour, 3 days a week. And so I hope I've answered your question.
Did he?
Somewhat.
Oh, God.
Okay, somewhat. But there's no best way. Is that you could do the same workout, but the rep ranges should be, my general recommendation is 8 and 12 reps. I like the way Jay Cutler does it. It's heavy enough to stimulate where you're like, okay, it's heavy reps better. Well, train at 8 reps, it's heavy enough. 12 reps is not so high that you're getting into like too high of an endurance aspect to it. If you're training 20 reps all the time, then you're getting a lot of endurance aspect to it. They all have purposes and benefits because 20 reps is going to drive more blood into the muscle. That will stimulate muscle hypertrophy or muscle growth. Training heavy stimulates the muscle fibers in a deeper way. So it's kind of good to mix everything.
We can make you one after this.
Yeah.
So that way you don't have any.
We get you one.
If you're at home and you do not know, or you do not have someone, reach out to someone, like he said, that looks the actual part of what they're trying to sell you.
They have to look like what you want.
Yeah, and then they will build you, because at the end of the day, like he's saying, there's no like specific rep range that's going to actually do it. What's important is the consistency. Okay,
It depends on your goal.
Yeah.
I guess is the nuance is it depends on your goal. What is your goal? Then that can change what's best for you. Right? If you got bad joints, I'm not going to have you do 8 reps. I might have you do 12 to 15 reps, because then your joints don't hurt as bad. You control the weight better. Stuff like that. I mean, I'm not going to give a powerlifting program to a 70-year-old man who's never lifted before. His tendons would snap. He can't handle it. Right. I mean, anyway, sorry.
Well, that's fine. Like I said, I was just curious, is it better to do heavier weight, less reps versus lighter weight, longer reps, or more reps?
Always it should be a mix. When I say heavy, I don't mean put 3 plates on the freaking bench press and start trying to do that crap. It should be whatever weight you think you should do, take 20% off of it, because guys think they're stronger than they are, and focus on working the muscle and then build up from there. You should be able to control the weight in a smooth fashion, and when you do your reps, you should be able to squeeze the muscle, get the stretch, and squeeze, and there's a range of motion.
Let's say, like you're talking about chest, let's say that you were at the gym and you were wanting to do like either incline or dumbbell chest, okay? You should pick a weight that you can control both of those, right? Because you got to stabilize both of those, and you're getting that deep stretch, like he's saying.
Yeah.
And you're able to get the rep like nice and controlled. It shouldn't be where you're like shuttling like this, and then you have to drop them in the floor. That makes me so mad.
It's too heavy.
It's like, if you can't control the weight, it's too heavy. So that's one of my pet peeves. And then you should be able to sit up with them and then walk them back over there, and not just on the floor. I'm tired. Like, come on,
just because
that's one of my things.
But next time I'm at the gym, I can drop the weights and make you mad.
If you want to make me mad, yeah.
Don't drop my weight.
Don't drop my weights. But yeah, okay. I think you had another question, and then we'll try to wrap it up, because I know that most people don't want to watch a long, drawn out thing.
One more question.
Going back to the whole diet, eating, is it better to do 3 meals a day versus 6 meals a day, or what do you recommend?
Yeah, so it depends on what you need to do for your overall calorie goals, or your overall
your lifestyle. What can you physically do? What job do you have?
If you have if I was a roofer, I don't want to eat a big meal at lunch. I'm probably going to throw up on the roof. You know what I mean? It's a tough thing. You just kind of got to time your stuff around, move it around. Maybe you have a big breakfast. Maybe you have a smaller lunch, or vice versa. You're running out of the door in the morning. You have a small breakfast and a bigger lunch. I personally like to do, when I'm not in like bodybuilding prep, right where I am right now, where I'm eating like 6 solid meals a day, I like to have shakes because they digest better. It's hard to eat whole food the way that I'm doing it. 6 times I'm like just shoveling food in. It's better because it digests slower and your body feeds off of it. But generally speaking, I would say a good breakfast. I like to do a good breakfast. I like to do a good lunch. And for me, a good breakfast would be like 4 eggs and like oatmeal. And sometimes I'll mix in like whey protein with it, oatmeal, and make it flavored. That's just what I like to do. I'm not doing that right now because it's not my coach's plan. But shout out to Hollywood. But
you will have is probably a shake.
And generally, I like to have a shake mid-morning, like a 50 to 60 gram protein shake. And it may have some carb with it. I might have rice or some other carb source with it. And then lunch would be, 7-8 ounces of meat and a cup of rice, generally, depending on my calorie needs. And then I'd do another shake and maybe a carb source at mid-afternoon. And then I'm usually doing some weight training around 4 to 5 o'clock in the late afternoon. And then in the evening, my post-workout, like dinner, I'm just having like another serving of meat, 7-8 ounces, and maybe a cup of rice. Or if I'm trying to keep my rice a little bit low, maybe I didn't train as hard, maybe I take the rice out. And then I'll have a shake before bed on those. So really, I like to have 3 whole meals and 3 shakes is the way I do it. But that's so I can spread my protein intake throughout the day.
That's the point. if you don't speak Bradley for sure, like you don't have to do what he does. The point is, it's what you can do. So you need to be getting protein. If you're putting something in your mouth, it should be protein. So you shouldn't just be eating a banana or eating an apple. Is it horrible? No, it's better than a Twinkie. But
Yes.
every meal, every snack should have protein. So is 6 meals better or 3 meals better? Well, how much protein are you getting in? Are you able to get all of your protein in 3 meals? Okay. Are you? Probably not. Are you able to get them with 3 meals in 2 shakes? So shake, people are like, well, what shake? What shake? Well, no, it's not really about that. The shakes are just because you need to boost it, right? Just because, like he said, it's hard to eat that much.
It's a supplement
Yes. So,
to your diet. So whole food first.
yeah.
So, but again, like I said, I'm eating right now. This is an example. 4 whole food meals. I have eggs at breakfast, eggs before I go to bed, egg whites as well. And then in between that, I've got 4 8-ounce meat meals.
Nobody's eating like that. Right?
No, I know that. I'm just telling you.
And
That's
going to do that.
I'm not telling people to do that. I'm saying breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then you can have protein snack sources, and that could be like what, a cup of cottage cheese or
If you like
some Greek yogurt, non-fat Greek yogurt,
yeah.
with an apple. It could be a protein shake.
Shakes are just typically easy because you could pack one in, like, if you're on the go.
If you're working all day, it's easy to throw a shake in a lunchbox and have that in the afternoon with an apple or something like that.
Yeah. So there's no one set way. It's just.
But you just want to balance.
In all day.
You want to balance, like you said, your snack with a protein source. You don't want to just have. It's not that it's bad to have a banana. It's just better to balance your.
It helps control your blood sugar.
Right.
So, like, if you eat the banana, it can raise your blood sugar, and then you're going to crash down. But if you pair, like, a protein with it, it'll keep your blood sugar more stable, which I think is important to you.
Yeah.
So.
And also, you're fueling muscle recovery if your goal is muscle gain. So you're having protein spread out throughout the day is better for muscle building than people fasting all day.
Right.
And then like having some huge protein meal at dinner, like you're feeding the muscle throughout the day with protein for recovery and growth. And that is more beneficial, and it balances your hunger, because if you're eating protein every 3 hours, you're going to manage your hunger much better than waiting and just skipping meals. And then then you get ravenously hungry and start grabbing chips and stuff. So,
yeah. Okay. So, what do we want to recap? We talked about a lot. So basically,
Jerry is a brand new man.
Yes.
He is feeling good because he came to Optum Life Health and Going Strong Fitness.
Yes, both. Yes.
And other men and women should probably consider doing the same thing.
Absolutely.
And we're very happy to have you. And thank you so much for talking with us. And we'll see you here and at the gym too.
Yeah. Appreciate y'all's help.
Yeah. Appreciate you coming on. And man, it's awesome. I just like when people get results, because they just make a few tweaks. It's really not rocket science, but like, if you actually do it, you can get a lot of results real quick.
Right.
It's good.
All right. See you next time.